Welcome on in, guys. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday, Thirsty Thursday. Hopefully you got a cocktail. I got a little margarita handy. We have a lot to break down. Sandoval is not going peacefully. Ariana is speaking out, and Kristen Doty has just spilled a little more tea on all of this Scandoval. So I hope you're ready for it. I know I am. Let's dive in. You're listening to hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me, your naturally platinum blonde pop culture connoisseur. I'm the reality TV junkie, self-improvement addict, and host with only the hottest tea spilled fresh all week long. Those balls have gotten you into trouble, though.
Yeah. They picked us because we were horny.
Yeah,
right.
And that's your chronic state.
24/7.
My life has changed so much that it's almost like a completely different life.
From the latest news on The Real Housewives,
I'm so happy to be here and engage with you.
deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered convos with your favorite stars, I've got you covered. And yes, I always keep receipts. Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday night. We got so much tea to break down. Kristen Doty was just on Nick Viles, the Vile Files, Nick Vile's podcast. So we'll break that down. Ariana is finally breaking her silence as she returns to Instagram. And then Tom Sandoval is really not going easily. He's trying to make this as difficult as he can on Ariana, and we have a lot to get into. So let's start with Ariana speaking out first, right? Ariana posted on Instagram a photo of herself in Mexico. We saw the photos of her partying it up in Mexico. She was at a wedding, and good for her. You know, she's living her best life. So she posted on Instagram and she wrote, "I want to express my most sincere gratitude for the outpouring of love and support I've received from friends, family, and people I've never even met in the last 2 weeks when I felt like I couldn't even stand. You all have given me the strength to continue and see me through my darkest hours. To say that I have been devastated and heartbroken is an understatement. However, I know that I am not in this alone. So many of my closest friends are also grieving this loss right now and reeling from this betrayal on so many levels. I am so fucking lucky to have the best support system in the world, and I hope I can repay every single person for the love you have shown me. What doesn't kill me better run." Good for you, Ariana. I'm happy about this. She's finally spoken out, and she's letting us know that she's tough, right? Ooh, hold on. Instagram's acting up. Okay. She's letting us know. What is going on with my eyes on Instagram? Sorry, got distracted. Just watched and so good. Yes, we'll get to Pump Rules and we'll recap Pump Rules in just a bit, but I wanted to read Ariana's statement, letting everybody know that she's back and Raquel better run. So it sounds like Ariana's ready to come into this reunion and she's ready to, she's hunting Bambi. She ain't dealing with no shit. Said, "Not today, Bambi. Not today, ankles. Not today, frail legs." Oh, yes, you love my shirt. It says, "Team Ariana." Ariana, Team Ariana. Sandy better run. Yes, Sandy better run. Okay, so Kristen Doty was just on Nick Vile's podcast, and she's saying that Tom is still living in the house and doesn't care about the toxicity that this environment is causing to Ariana or to the people around him. Ariana had a mutual friend that she tried to let be the mediator between herself and Tom and try to get him to rationally and not emotionally see that this is just not very cool to be in the same situation, you cheated and blah blah blah, but he doesn't really see the ramifications of his actions. And according to Kristen Doty, his response when they asked him to leave, he said, "It's my fucking house too. If she's uncomfortable, she can leave." Which is just excuse me? I'm sorry. What? No, homie, you should leave. I literally cannot even believe how detached from reality this dude actually is. By the way, I love my Team Ariana shirt. It's amazing quality too. Thank you, Peach Love and Giraffes. I appreciate that. Guys, you can get your Team Ariana shirts at justplainzack.com/shop. Up in the merch shop, you can get your Team Ariana shirts. So many people ordered them. So if you did get them, because orders now are shipping and people are receiving them, if you did get them, definitely take a pic and send it to me. I'll be sure to repost it. Like, post on your stories and tag me, or post on your feed and tag me, and I'll be sure to repost it. But thank you for the love and support. We got to rally for our girl. We got to ride for our girl. Ariana, girl, we got your back, homie. We got you. Not only should Rachel run fast and far, but you got a whole team of, what do we, Ariana heads? I don't know. Whatever we want to call ourselves. Dangerous. That's what we're going to call ourselves. We're going to call ourselves Bambi Hunters. Let's go. So Tom is refusing to leave. He's still living there. They're obviously not staying together in the same bedroom, but it's just so crazy to me that he thinks that it's okay to just like be around Ariana right now. Like, you literally broke this girl's heart. You betrayed her. You stomped on her heart. You're still hanging out with Raquel, who's your mistress, and you think that that's appropriate. You think that that's okay. That's not okay. No, homie, that is not okay. So Schwartz is claiming that he was pushing Sandoval to talk about this and to tell Ariana and to own it, baby, own it. But Kristen's like, Schwartz is a pussy, and she doesn't really think that he was that serious in pushing Sandoval to do it. She's like, Sandoval steamrolls over Schwartz all the time, so it's not really shocking that they kept the secret for as long as they did. How and when they actually found out is still TBD, but she thinks that Schwartz knew because all throughout the fall, she was saying that Schwartz and his roommate, as he refers to her on Vanderpump Rules, Schwartz and his roommate, Joe, who's the new girl, she's rumored to be Schwartz's new boyfriend, or sorry, Schwartz's new girlfriend, or boyfriend. And so she's claiming that Schwartz and Joe would go out all the time with Tom Sandoval and Raquel. And she's like, come on, that's a double date. Like, they had, like, how did Schwartz not pick up on things? How did Schwartz not see that this was an actual situationship that was going on here? Like, he's not that naive. You and your girlfriend are going out with your buddy and Raquel. Like, he had to have known it at some point. And again, like, when did he find out, and how complicit, like, how long was he willing to drag all of this out? Again, this is all Kristen's speculation. She does talk about Coachella. She wasn't at Coachella. She says that at Coachella, she thinks that the rumor was actually about Tom Sandoval and Raquel making out and not Tom Schwartz. Kyle and Jamie Lynn, who are two friends of Sheena and Raquel, mutual friends of them, they say that they were just on Jamie Lynn's podcast, and they say they were at Coachella and they did not see or remember Sandoval and Raquel making out, that they don't know where that rumor came from, and they don't believe that they actually made out then. But they definitely are like, in retrospect, like, it's crazy that this was happening underneath our noses. She says that Sheena, she says that Raquel is not remorseful. She doesn't believe that Raquel's remorseful. She thinks that Raquel is really just sorry that she got caught. And she also clarifies and says that Sheena did not hit Raquel. I think she thinks that Sheena pushed her. I don't know if she clarified that Sheena pushed her, or that was her own sort of speculation. Unclear of like what her conversations with Sheena actually were. But she makes it clear that Sheena did not hit Raquel. She thinks that this is all a ruse to position herself as a victim, in the form of deflection. She's like, it even looks like she got like lipstick and made that scratch herself. Because the other thing too is, when you see the paparazzi photos that came out about Raquel recently, last weekend, you can see she doesn't really seem to have any visible markings. And in tonight's episode of Vanderpump Rules, you can see that Raquel has the bruising under her eye as well. So I don't know. It's looking very fishy. I've always said that it was fishy. Boycott Schwartz and Sandy's. I mean, I don't think you need to do a full boycott, Sharon. I think if you don't want to go, then don't go. I mean, listen, Schwartz and Sandoval they're not helping the situation, and nobody looks good. Do you feel like people are getting Sandoval fatigue? Sorry, I just got a text message. Are you guys getting Sandoval fatigue? Are we like dying down from the Sandoval scandal of it all? Are you guys feeling a little tired? Do you believe Demois' blind item about Tom, Ariana, and Raquel having a threesome? Okay, so this is interesting because I did see this, that there's this rumor. Again, we always have to take what Demois says. If they have a blind item, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because it's unverified. And usually they're very clear about that, right? That, you know, all of their tea or any scoop or stuff that they get, it's all unverified. So they have no liability, and they have, they're very clear about it. And people run with it as if it's like gospel, right? But I could literally write into mom right now and say, I also sucked Tom Sandoval's dick and it's big. And then they could possibly run that without verifying it. And they do stuff like this all the time. No shade to them, because they're also very transparent and upfront that like they run whatever people send them, and it doesn't have to necessarily mean that it's true. It's a bit of a cheap way to get engagement, but listen, they've built a great platform for themselves, and I don't want to shade them because I actually like them a lot. But you have to take these things with a grain of salt. Do I believe that they had a threesome? No. I would believe that Schwartz and Sandoval may have had a threesome with Raquel. I don't believe that Ariana and Sandoval had a threesome. So for people that are unfamiliar, the rumor was that Ariana and Tom had a threesome with Raquel, and then after that, Tom Sandoval continued to run with that, and he continued to talk to Raquel. Even if they did have a threesome, that doesn't justify him then going and cheating on his girlfriend of 9 years, who he has a home with. Can you stand up? Still got the briefs on. Yes, I do still have the briefs on, but I'm wearing jeans. Okay. I'm not naked. I'm not half naked. I'm not semi-naked. Justice for Katie. I mean, sure, if you want to do some justice for Katie. I heard he was Tom's thumb. I don't know what that means. Do you think Tom Ariana had a threesome after a wild night of happy pills and Tom couldn't control his sexual attraction to Raquel after the door was open sexually? I mean, I don't like that phrasing. If he couldn't control his sexual attraction to Raquel, you're a grown-ass man. You can control whatever you want to control. A grown man, whether he has his dick hard or his brain alert, has control, and we need to not give men passes for dipping out on their relationship because men are going to cheat and men will be men and boys will be boys. No, that is bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And I was screaming that from the top of my rooftop. Bullshit. I don't think that that's a fair pass for him, that he just couldn't control his sexual attraction. First of all, Raquel's not that fucking hot. What is she, Carmen Electra? No, she's not that hot. Lala's hotter than Raquel. They're both beautiful women, and I'm not trying to degrade women, and I'm a feminist. They're both great. You know, don't grab anybody by the pussy unless they want it. But, I mean, come on. Nobody's that. Like, Ariana is smoking. Raquel's cute. Ariana is banging. Raquel's cute. You know? Raquel's kind of lights on, nobody home. Back to the podcast with Kristen and Nick. So she also said, she says Scheana didn't hit Raquel, that she actually kind of believes that that these injuries may have possibly been self-induced. Again, speculation. Kristen says that the last time she heard Tom and Raquel had filmed together was last Monday, so they were filming fairly recently. And she also says that she tricked a producer into saying that Tom and Raquel made out on camera for this finale episode, that in the scenes that they filmed together, they actually kissed on camera, which is gross. I mean, talk about no tact, right? I mean, we saw the apologies, right? Tom Sandoval's first apology was all focused on the business until he got his ass railed, right? Then Raquel's apology was like, I'm sorry to Ariana, but me, and I'm a victim, and I've been physically assaulted, and oh my God, I need a restraining order. Dumb. Then we saw her second statement where she was like, oh my God, I'm trying to take some time to, to be with myself and think with myself and not with my coochie and be with my family, even though the paparazzi caught her walking out here in LA. But she, wasn't sure how she wanted to define her relationship with Sandoval. Like, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares how you define your relationship with Sandoval right now. Nobody cares. Okay? Nobody cares. PR crisis team, reel her in. No more statements. No more talking about this. No making out on camera. Literally, chill, girl, chill. Unless they're going to lean into the villain narrative and they're just going to be total crazy psycho people, like a whole Spencer and Heidi Spidey situation, which I wouldn't hate. Eventually, we would come around to love to hate them. But right now, it's a little too fresh and we need to read the room. And Raquel is just not good at being able to read the room. So the fact that he doesn't want to move out, he doesn't know how to read the room. It's all bad news bears. Not a fan. Garbage. Throw them in the garbage with the sprinkle cookies. Respect the rules of the threesome. Listen, I love a good threesome, okay? There are usually rules in the threesome. Stick to and abide by the rules of the threesome, Sandoval. I don't believe they actually had a threesome. If anything, I would believe Sandoval and Schwartz had a threesome. But now Schwartz is coming out and talking a lot more, saying that, he doesn't want to, he wasn't into Raquel because she feels like more of a sister. And so it does kind of feel like he was going along with this ruse. I'm wondering if it was maybe influenced by Sandoval, like Sandoval was really pushing him, or if he was just kind of doing this because he knew it would be good press for the show. He knew that this would, but then it's like you're also hurting Katie. So it's like, why would you hurt your ex-wife who's been your family for the past 10 years, who you claim to still love? Why would you put her through this? And why would you hurt her if you didn't actually have real, genuine feelings for Raquel? And that's what Katie was saying. She's like, Tom told me he doesn't really have feelings for Raquel. And what the friends are now saying is that, like, Tom says he saw Raquel as just his sister, which is gross. Then why are you kissing your sister? Because Sandoval made you? Really? So then was Sandoval making you keep this secret as well? We know that this, okay, here's the other crazy part. Now that we know Schwartz is claiming he found out a month before the news broke, right? And Kristen's suspecting that maybe he found out sometime in the fall around like November, December, right? Let's take it back to when the news broke. A week prior to when the news actually became public, Tom Sandoval he was at his show, Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. Someone came out on TikTok. One of the guys that attended the show came out on TikTok and he's like, I remember being there. This is before all these most recent details came out. But he's like, I remember being at the Tom and the Most Extra show. And Tom was like, who wants to see Schwartz and Raquel make out? And then he made Schwartz and Raquel come up on stage and kiss in front of the crowd. The three of them knew about this affair, and they literally were complicit in that moment in front of the crowd, so the crowd could be like, oh my God, that's insane. That's literally insane. Crazy. Tom and the Wedding Singers. I mean, that's a compliment, Tom and the Wedding Singers. I mean, they're a cute band. Listen, I went to one of their concerts, and it was fun. The more I watch Rachel and Vanderpump Rules, the more I believe she was and is trying so hard to be like Lala, and it's so forced that she literally shakes and her voice cracks when she's trying to be a tough girl. Okay, so do you think the pregnancy rumors are true? No, Raquel's not pregnant. Guys, that's a low budget tea. Put on our thinking caps and let's just be practical about this. Hi, Zack and the pack. Hi, Miss Redhead. Emotional roller coasters. I know that's right. Tom Sandoval gives me 1970s porn star type. I mean, I guess there are moments when like a 70s porn star can be like, if you're into that mood, maybe like a role play. I don't know. Rachel looks like she would be the worst limp fish lay. Yeah, like she would kind of just lay there and like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't listen again. Like Raquel is just not interesting to me. Okay, now that people are bringing up Vanderpump Rules, should we recap last night's episode? Because it was wild. Everyone can tell me, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. So then I tried to watch it last night, and I was like, okay, is it really crazy? And then I was like, okay, it's not that it's not crazy, but I was a little lit. So then I had to watch it this morning, and I was like, ooh, now I got a lot of feelings. But really quickly, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying the content. Subscribe so that you always get the latest on the Scandival. On the YouTube channel, there's a whole playlist dedicated to the latest on the Scandival. So you can always stay up to date with that. If you're listening to this on the podcast, hi, you're catching our rebroadcast from Thursday Night Live. And I just want to say, please leave me a nice Apple Podcast review because I love that validation. And also, guys, I'm going to be in Philly April 27th, hanging out with the Brav Bros and some very special guests. So if you're on the East Coast, this is the only live East Coast show that I'm going to do this year. If you're on the East Coast, come on down to Philly April 27th at City Winery. You can get your tickets at nofilterlive.com. That's nofilterlive.com. VIP packages are selling fast, so you're going to want to snag them while you can. Go to nofilterlive.com and get your tickets. April 27th at City Winery in Philly with me and the Brav Bros. Okay, let's talk about Vanderpump Rules. So we open up where we left off last week, back in Vegas. Raquel is litty city. She is lit. Leftovers comes into Lala's room. She said Lala was on. She went on Instagram. I think or TikTok, an Instagram story. She did something where she posted a video and she was basically like, I just want to talk about it and why I was so irritated with Raquel, because first she comes in with her bowl of mush and then she spills it on the floor, which like pissed me off because this is my room. When you're clean that up, and then she's in bed and she spilled it on the bed, and I was like, more mad. She's like, don't do that. I have a baby. Send it to Daryl. So she was already annoyed with Raquel at that point. Raquel was lit. And I think Raquel just like wanted to have a good time with the good girls and like let loose, right? But also like read the room too, Raquel, which we clearly know she's not good at that. But like Katie doesn't really like you, right? You were trying to bang Schwartz or trying to make out with Schwartz or whatever. It was disrespectful. So Katie's guard's already going to be up with you. Lala's guard has always been up with you. And I don't know what your relationship like is with Christina Kelly, but Christina is closest to Katie and Lala, so naturally her allegiance is going to fall with Katie and Lala. So we start things off in Lala's room. We're having this scene, and Lala's like, "Listen, you made out with Oliver, and blah blah blah." And she's like, "Well, you told me it was," or she's like, "I told you it was cool, but like, it seemed like you were like you wanted to eye him once you actually found out that I was also interested in him." And she's like, "Listen, all I'm saying is I wouldn't trust you around my man if you were drunk." And then Raquel responds and she said, "Well, thank God you won't have a man to bring around. Thank God you don't have a man." And then Christina's like, "Oh my God, Raquel." And even Katie's like, "Oh my God, Raquel." And they're like, "Oh my God." And to me, like at first I was kind of like, well, it sounds like maybe she was just kind of making a joke, right? But then if you really like read between the lines and think about that, it's like really insensitive considering Lala literally just lost her man, her fiance, her baby daddy, the father of her daughter, to a man that was cheating on her. So no, she doesn't have a man because her man was cheating on her. And now you're over here being like, I could have stolen your man if I want your man. And it's just like insensitive, tone deaf, didn't read the room. If you're trying to get in and be nice with these girls, like this is not the way to do it, right? And to me, it was also so wild with Raquel like calling Lala a hypocrite in these confessionals because it's like she was literally banging Tom at the time that she was filming these confessionals. And she's literally like, Lala's such a hypocrite. And I'm just like, you're such a fucking hypocrite because at the time you're filming this, because we know now that things kicked off with Tom at Boys Night, which was only a couple days after this scene was filmed with Lala and Katie and Christina Kelly in the bed. So by the time these confessionals are being filmed, she'd already been banging Sandoval. She'd already started an affair with Sandoval. And she's over here talking all this mad shit about, what's happening? There are audio issues? I don't think, okay. Hopefully there are no audio issues. I think it should be fine. But yeah, Lala cheated on her man with Raquel's man. Yes, so I get that. Okay, so let's get into all of that because I feel like, oh shit. So is that confirmed? Is what confirmed? Sorry, guys. When you leave these random comments out of context, it's hard for me to respond to you guys. Okay, so I do think it's wild that Raquel calls Lala a hypocrite, considering like Raquel just has like such high moral ground, which I just find interesting. Like this girl has some real high morals, but it's too bad, she very quickly dropped those quicker than she dropped her panties for Tom Sandoval. Does that happen real quick? But I feel like this scene was strange for me and I felt conflicted because that night I really wanted to believe that Raquel just wanted to fit in with these girls. I don't think she meant to be offensive. I just don't think she was thinking. And then I did feel a little Mean Girls-y when like Katie and Lala and Christina Kelly were making fun of like the Taylor Swift music and the lights. Like it did feel a little mean girly, and seeing Raquel like in the hallway, like I kind of felt bad for her. But then I'm also like, if she really is as calculated as we're now starting to think that she is, then I'm like, if you're hiding in the hallway and cameras are up, and then obviously the camera has to turn to you because it's pointing towards the hallway at some point. So you have to be aware that the cameras are filming you in the hallway. And then after that, you then get into bed and are crying in bed with the camera on you. So I'm like, that also kind of just feels like, I don't know, maybe she was just drunk and emotional. It's hard because I kind of see both sides of it, whereas it's like the girls didn't really want to go on a vacation, a girls trip, whatever, with Raquel. Katie shouldn't have invited her, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it felt Mean Girls-y, but I'm also just like, I don't like Raquel. I didn't like her before. I don't like her in this current moment. But then watching the show, I almost had like a little bit of empathy for her because I am kind of like a human being and I do have a heart. But do we start a GoFundMe and to get Ariana a new house? I think it's awful that she's stuck in that house with Tom, and, like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Is he gonna buy her out of the house? Are they gonna sell the house? Like, it's insane. Okay, a lot of people are like, "Well, Lala cheated with James and Lala cheated with Randall." So, yes, I do understand that piece of it. Lala did cheat with Randall, but okay, well, sorry, I'm trying to read the comments and trying to stay focused, but I feel like the girls always saw something in Raquel, and that's where this is kind of coming from, and that's why we do have this seemingly mean girls energy. And, like, I don't know, I feel like Raquel had Charlie. At least she had her in her court, so when they're on to this trip, Charlie has her back, but I know Charlie now feels like a real idiot. Like, Raquel really was, like, trying to be friends with everybody, and then she wrecked all of those relationships, and she wrecked all of those friendships. So it's hard to feel bad for her because she did it to herself. She can do bad all on her own. But then we have the dinner where Raquel's talking about Lala being a hypocrite, and she says it to her face because Lala slept with James while he was with Raquel, and then she also slept with Randall while he was married. But yet Lala claims that, and Raquel validates this, that Lala believed that Randall was separated at the time that she started dating Randall. She didn't knowingly date Randall knowing that he had a wife that he was still with. And this is how cheaters do it, right? This is how Tom did it with Ariana. I was watching back older seasons of Vanderpump Rules because everyone's like, "Oh, well, Ariana, how she gets him is how she loses him." And I'm just like, "Okay, calm down, Barbara from Oklahoma." Um, Ariana, because there's a scene with Stassi, and Stassi's talking to Ariana, and Stassi's like, "Listen, I don't really know you, and I don't really like you, but I'm on your team because I believe that Sandoval told you that he was separated from Kristen because I know of another girl in Vegas that he said that he was separated from Kristen from, and that's how he got these girls to sleep with them." And like that's tale as old as time. That's what Eddie Cibrian did to Sheena. So it's like these men are like, "Yeah, I'm separated." And they'll like lie to your face and be like, "Yeah, I'm not with her anymore. We're not together. Like, I can absolutely sleep with you." And it's like, what are you just not supposed to believe him when he's telling you that, like, I'm separated and I want to sleep with you? I guess now we really can't trust men. I don't like men. I'm going to become a lesbian at this point. But I just feel like, ugh, it's complicated. But Lala does maintain, and Raquel validated at that table, that she did not know that Randall was still with Amber at the time. Maybe they were still legally married. However, she believed that they were separated. And then when it comes to James, I can't really like I'm not defending it, but when it comes to James, I can't really defend that either because he was technically with Raquel and she was technically with Randall. She's trying to say, "Oh, well, that was 6 years ago. It's in the past. Like, move on from what happened 6 years ago." But I'm also just like, mm, I don't know if you can just erase that from 6 years ago just because it was 6 years ago. You know, I mean, unless there is some growth and evolution and people have changed and blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Law of Attraction, Lala and Randall, Tom and Raquel, Pinhead, and Mean Girls group. I don't understand what that means. But here we have Raquel, and Raquel's literally trying to make out with Schwartz, who is separated. Similar situation to Lala and Randall. He's technically separated from Katie, and Raquel's moving in on him, and she thinks that it's okay because he's separated. But then she's judging Lala, and Lala's like, "Well, I believed Randall was separated." So parallel situations. I believe they're a lot alike, right? I believe this is a bit of the pot calling the kettle black on both ends. On Lala's end, on Raquel's end, I think they're both being a bit of a hypocrite, but I think it's really just because they don't like each other, and that's fine. Makes for a good show, but it's like that's really where I think this is all coming from. I think Lala doesn't trust Raquel, maybe because there is a bit of a mirror situation. Maybe it is a little self-reflection of Lala seeing a bit of the ugly parts in herself, or maybe in her past self. Maybe she has changed. I don't know. We haven't seen her sleep with anybody, anybody's man currently. The James thing was 6 years ago. Randall was, many years ago as well. So what, 6, 7 years ago. So I feel like at this point, I don't know. They're both being hypocritical. I can't really defend either of them, to be honest with you. But I'm also glad that because Raquel was like, "Well, I didn't make out with Schwartz. I didn't make out with him." And she's like, "But you tried to. The reason you didn't make out with him is because Schwartz turned you down. Schwartz did not want to make out with you." So both pot calling the kettle black. And like it's okay, right? You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to get along with everybody. I think Raquel is just like a bit of a Bambi and Lala's a bit of a pit bull. So it doesn't always feel like an even keeled fight. But whatever. Good that Raquel chose to leave the trip on her own accord. I think that was smart of her. The girls didn't want to be around her. She was not gelling with them. I did not love, though, when she was walking out and she was like already humble. And then next thing you know, she's just like, well, I think you're just angry that Oliver chose me over you. And I was like, oh my goodness, girl, you just keep digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay. Because first of all, Oliver is not the hill you want to die on, right? You don't want to be like, oh, he chose me, what, over his girlfriend? He chose you over the mother of his children? Oh, okay, that's a flex. Not the flex that you think it is, Raquel. Not the flex. I think the bottom line and the lesson we can take away from this episode is don't trust Raquel around your man. There was Peter, who she knows had kind of been around and she kind of used him a little and played with him. And and then didn't care if she, overstepped Lala to get Oliver. And then now we have Sandoval, and she didn't care about Ariana when she was banging Sandoval. So Raquel had a current pattern that is a repeated pattern that's very self-serving to her. So yeah, like, ew, Oliver, yeah, you won Raquel. I don't think Raquel. Well, Oliver's hot, but I mean, if he's with somebody, then that doesn't really make him a prize, right? I think that was said by Charlie, and she put it in her ear and told. Yeah, I think Charlie was definitely influencing Raquel. I don't think Raquel's bright enough to come up with a statement like that, to be honest with you. I just don't think she is. It's super cringy, though, to watch her talk about how she's leaving this girls' trip to go be with Sheena and Ariana because she believes that those girls are her real friends. And then, I don't know if anybody also caught this, but on the way out from the girls' trip, you can see that she has like the dark, I don't know if it's bruising, but she has the dark circle under her eye. So that also tells us that the black eye was not, unless Sheena was there on the girls' trip secretly and was like punching her in the closet when nobody was looking. Who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody can keep up with all of Rachel's lies. Her lies. But she ends up going, the girls beat up Schwartz as a piñata, and then Raquel comes back to boys' night, and then James is like, oh my God, why are these girls here? I thought it was weird that they just crashed it and showed up. I guess it's even more weird knowing that that was the night that the affair technically began. Which is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Dark circles from nicotine. Is that a thing? Does nicotine give you dark circles under your eyes? I finally made it live again. Hello, gorgeous. Hi, Siki. Finding Cloud alive. Hi, Andrea. I don't get why she said that she was going to see the guys. Just shut up. I was screaming at my TV. It looks so much worse in retrospect, right? Now, I think this episode definitely looked bad considering everything that we know now. But like, just think of how next week and the next week, how those episodes are going to look now, knowing that that's when the affair was already happening. Sandoval and Raquel were already in the affair. Not a thing. I smoke and I have no dark circles. Wow, in all caps. Thank you for clarifying that, Penny. Everybody, Penny smokes and she has no dark circles. She just wanted to make that clear for everybody. Penny, thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know what could cause that. I know I have like dark circles under my eyes, and usually like sometimes I have one that's a little bit darker. That's why I have to wear like concealer when I tape and stuff, because then you can see the darkness under my eyes. Oh yeah. But this was a wild episode, and it's only going to get crazier. No false statements about nicotine. Oh, okay, guys, it's okay. It's okay. Somebody made a comment. Whether the comment was right or wrong, they didn't claim to be a doctor. They weren't claiming to be somebody that researched this thoroughly like a scientist. So it's okay. Low iron causes dark circles. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. But she only has under like one eye. She probably is a little iron deficient. You know, her little Bambi legs don't seem like they can hold up very much. On Watch What Happens Live, they seem to not think that the affair had started quite yet. Well, the affair started, according to Raquel's friends, started the night of boys' night. Or that's when something started. Did you send Ariana a shirt? No, I haven't talked to Ariana. I'm kind of like giving her space and distance. I've talked to some of the other people. I just feel like right now she's just trying to stay in a healthy place. She's just trying to stay in like a focused place. It's great that she has support around her. I'll give her one eventually. I mean, you never know. Maybe there'll be an upcoming live show coming up soon that you might see some familiar faces at, people. You never know. Yes, Zach, it's the one eye. Yeah, she only has one eye. That's what happens to me. I don't think I'm iron deficient though. Iron deficiency does happen to run in my family. Aaron D says, please subscribe and like the video. Yes, guys, if you're enjoying the live stream, like the video, and I will give you a shout out. Charlie was totally influenced Raquel. Charlie did not secure a permanent spot in Vanderpump Rules, and it seems calculated, even though calculated enough to think, why not use Raquel to stir up drama? They could be a dynamic duo. That makes sense. I think, listen, I don't care for Charlie. I really don't. I like that Charlie's dragging Raquel and Raquel's sister now, but I'm not a big fan of Charlie. I never have been, nor have I ever been a fan of Raquel. And I'm glad that I was never a fan of Raquel. Like Lala, I'm like, I knew I didn't like that bitch for a reason. I didn't know what the reason was, but I knew I didn't like her. And now I can find out that she's out here snatching people's men. Maybe we can bond over that, right? I've been known to steal a husband or two. Zach, you need a giant whiteboard in the next recap while we need a visual timeline. I know. Keep us on track. I mean, I'm trying. Like, that's what I'll do. I'll just have like I'll have a deco, not a whiteboard. I'm going to have like a poster board. I'm going to take this like a college campus presentation and I'll have a poster board and we'll go through it all. Who do you think will not show up at the reunion? I think they're all going to show up at the reunion. I'm hoping that what production does for the reunion, which is supposed to tape on Thursday, a week from today, what I'm hoping is that I hear Sheena addresses this on her podcast this week, which I believe comes out on Friday. So be sure to tune into Shenanigans this week. But I'm hearing that everything's still up in the air. Raquel is not officially confirmed that she's going to be at the reunion. I'm pretty sure she is going to be at the reunion. But what I would love the producers to do is break it up, give us the full reunion, but break up when Raquel's allowed to be on stage and when Sheena's allowed to be on stage. Like, give us the first half with Sheena and then give us the second half with Raquel. You know, I think that would be interesting because we know they cannot physically be together. I broke down the temporary restraining order because I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, she didn't check the box with no contact and blah, 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 blah. I've already clarified that. They're not allowed to have any contact. The judge requested that, even though Raquel didn't check that on her actual paperwork, the judge requested no contact. So they're not allowed to even have any sort of correspondence together, even via Zoom. And I believe 100 yards that they're supposed to stay away from each other. So my thing is the only solution is bring one of them for half of the reunion and then bring the other one in for the second half of the reunion. That way they're able to talk about everything. Sheena can get all of her segments out early on. And then as we get to the middle of it, she can give her opinions and thoughts on Raquel. And then we move Sheena off stage. We bring Raquel on set and then we do all of the Raquel stuff. And then Sheena gets to say what she has to say about Raquel without saying it to Raquel, because then Raquel can't claim that it's a violation of her restraining order. And then on top of that, everybody else gets to, have their discussion with Sheena and then also comment at Raquel and Tom. Do you think Ariana will get back with Tom? No way. No way. Ariana's not that kind of girl. She's just not. That is trash. Thank you very much, Ray. Thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot, you idiot. That's a TikTok for those of you that don't know. I love your t-shirt. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I love you too. Ooh, look at JC with the super sticker. Oh, hey, JC. Oh, no, I missed. Oh, yeah, no, there it is. JC with the super sticker. Hey. Does Raquel pay for Sheena's lawyer's fees when she loses in court? I don't think so. I mean, Sheena could sue. Well, this is the thing. There is no lawsuit currently. So there's no police report. There are no charges filed, and there's no civil lawsuit against Sheena. Sheena could sue Raquel for defamation of character. If this is proven incorrect, I believe Sheena does have a lawsuit against Raquel, and then she can also sue her for damages, which would be the attorney's fees that Sheena would have to pay to go to fight this restraining order. I don't know if Sheena will take it that far. Slander, like Real Houses of Miami. So, I mean, it's possible. Sheena does have a case against Raquel. It doesn't appear that Raquel has a case against Sheena, because if she did have a case against Sheena, she would have filed her case against Sheena by now, and she has not. So, booyah, bitch. All right. I think that's all I got for you guys. unless there's anything else. The reunion tapes next Thursday. We'll see what happens. The hearing with Sheena and Raquel is on March 29th. A lot of people are saying, well, why can't we just push the hearing back? Why can't we push the reunion back until after the hearing? And I'm trying to explain to people, like, it's not as easy as just like pushing it back a week. You know what I mean? Because production is not like that simple. Oh my gosh, artists for the super sticker. Thank you, my love. You guys are so sweet. I love and appreciate it. And all the badges on Instagram. Thank you guys for the badges. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, drinking game. What's the drinking game? Holla. Reunion tapes on my birthday. Yay. People are saying, why can't the reunion get pushed back a week? It's not that simple. Reunion, they have to rent sets out. They have to rent trailers for the cast. They have to book, you know, they have to make sure talent's ready, and then talent also they have makeup artists and hair stylists and, you know, all of these other people. They have set designers, they have furniture rentals, they have all of these things that need to happen, which is why they book these things weeks, if not months in advance. So it's not easy to just be like, oh yeah, we're just going to reschedule it until next weekend. Like, think about it. If you were throwing a big birthday party, a lot of people are parents, or maybe let's pretend you were having like a big 50th birthday bash, right? And the 50th birthday bash is coming. You have the DJ, you rented tables and chairs, you have a jumper, a moon bounce, whatever you call that. You have that. You have donkeys coming. You have a let's just say you have a rodeo that's coming on in, right? You can't just be like, oh yeah, can we just like move it to next weekend? Like, no, they book these things in advance because you have to secure things and make reservations for things in advance, especially if like you're hosting it somewhere. They usually film these on like an actual, you know, film set, TV set. Why is Tom not moving out? Did I miss that? Seems rude AF. It is rude AF, Nadia. He's moving out because he doesn't feel like it. That's really, it's that simple. He's like, if Ariana's uncomfortable with me being here, then she can move out. He's literally like being a total jerk about all of this. Okay. That's all I got for you guys. I'm not moving my birthday party. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. Right? Just because somebody wants to file a restraining order, period. All right. That's what I got for you guys. Get your tickets to No Filter Live in Philly. It's called No Filter Night Out with the Brav Bros. Me and the Brav Bros will be in Philly at City Winery. So be sure to come on out April 27th. Get your tickets at nofilterlive.com. If you want to keep up with me, you can always keep up with me personally at Just Plain Zack, or you can follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack, at No Filter with Zack, and at Just Plain Zack to keep up with me, with moi. That's me, Zack Peter. I got guns. Look at that. Boom. Boom, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday with an all-new episode of Hash. Oh, yay! Resh LR is coming to the show in Philly. Holla! You guys can get your Team Ariana shirts at justplainzack.com/shop if you want to get any merch. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will keep you posted, so be sure to follow on Instagram with all the latest. All right, guys. Get your tickets to Philly. NoFilterLive.com. All right. Get your merch. JustPlainZack.com/shop. Love you. Appreciate you. Keep me posted with all the tea that you're seeing, because I love reading the DMs. All right. Love you. Mean it. Bye.